sometimes it can feel like getting under an avoidant skin is impossible because they don't seem to feel things in the way that you do. And they don't feel things the same way. But it's not that they are void of emotion. They actually want often to have a good healthy relationship, but the same old coping mechanisms pop up every time, and they feel things very differently as a way of protecting themselves. But there are things that you can say to an avoidant that would make them think, that would make them question their behavior. So, in this video, we're going to talk about 4 things that you could say via text, maybe, or in person, that would make them maybe panic a little bit and get them thinking about what they do in relationships. So before I get into this video, I'd like to let you know that we've got 1 space left on the self-abandonment trap, and this is for anybody who wants a transformation when it comes to obsessing and thinking about another person. And there is a way that we can come back to ourselves and actually feel way more in control of this situation than we feel like we are right now. And so if you want to go on that journey with me, it's a 6-week, very special creative journey where you'll be learning a lot about self-abandonment, which is the thing that we do. And especially if you've been with an avoidant partner, they kind of push you there to leave yourself, and you end up feeling a shell of yourself. And that's not where we want to come from and create relationships from. And then you'll also be reactivating and reigniting your spark through the process of creativity. So if you want to know any more about that, you can find out in the link below. Okay, so what are these things? I've got my notes here just so that I don't forget anything that we can say to an avoidant. So imagine the situation. This is number 1. Imagine the situation where they are maybe in and out, hot and cold, and you just don't know if you're coming or going, and they have started to be a bit more inconsistent. Something that would kind of irk them a bit or make them think, I know this person is right, is, look, I've been thinking, I need consistency and you need space. So I don't think I can do this anymore, right? Not only is that a boundary and you stating what you need, but it also highlights exactly what is going on without any kind of, tiptoeing around it. It's like, this is what's going on. It's clear, straight up. I've been thinking, I need consistency. You need space. I don't think I can do this anymore. Right? So, also because they expect you to be kind of emotional and dramatic and like chase them a lot of the time. And this is the complete opposite of that. So it kind of gives them a bit of a shock. The next thing, if you're in a situation where you've kind of ended things or they've ended things, you can say, I hope you find what you're looking for. Because you're just not waiting anymore. You're not waiting for them. You're just saying, okay, well, if it's not me, I hope you find what you're looking for. Because they know in themselves that they have been looking and looking and looking, and the common denominator is often them. That kind of really turns the lens back on them. Number 3 is, this is an interesting one. I deserve somebody who doesn't go cold and disappear when things get real. And that hurts because they know that it is true. They know that's true. So, of course, it kind of makes them go, this is me again. This is what I do, The last one is when you really just, you stay calm. You stay calm about the situation. You don't question it. You don't panic. You don't freak out. And you say something along the lines of, I'm fine. It's just clear to me that we want different things. Even if you're not fine, because you are fine, really. Like, it's clear when you get to that point where you're like, actually, I'm not going to chase you. We want different things. You want, this inconsistent kind of easy, hot and cold thing where you can come and go whenever you want. I want a consistent, loving relationship. All of these messages are boundaries. They're all clear, direct boundaries that help you to communicate what it is that you want and keep you in touch with you, right? And this is what avoidants need. They need this direct language. By the way, I have got an ebook called Perfect Replies to Your Avoidant, and it's got hundreds of these really good direct boundaried responses to keep you connected to you and stop you leaving yourself when it comes to an avoidant relationship, and also help the avoidant to feel safe enough to open up with you, right? So if you want to look at that ebook, it's linked below. But if you want to go deeper into self-abandonment so that you actually feel you don't need an ebook for this, you just know it within yourself. You're just so good with yourself that you actually do not need an ebook. The ebook is great, gives you some ideas. It actually is designed to help you to connect back to yourself so that you get that confidence. But what would be very transformative is coming onto the self-abandonment trap, because it would get you out of there, get you out of the trap. And that's what we're going to do starting Tuesday. And like I say, I've got one space left. So if you'd like to know any more about that, you can find out in the link below. And I'll see you in the next video.